Hi, Yiannis. Welcome to Venture Vibe. It's great to have you with us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm very happy meeting you.
Okay, to start, could you briefly introduce yourself and share your journey in innovation ecosystem and venture building?
Yeah, of course. My name is Yiannis. Yiannis Geragotellis is the surname. I am working as an innovation management consultant the last 20 years, actually more than 20. And I have been working since my early years on the intersection between research, industry, and venture building. My work mainly focuses on building bridges and supporting various actors throughout the whole innovation ecosystem. When it comes to execution, when it comes to market uptake of new technologies, scale up of companies. Since my early years, I have been working across borders. We now have partners, clients, and good friends all over Europe, but not only Europe. We also have several partnerships throughout Middle East and North Africa, the MENA countries. And I would say that today I see myself more as a connector and designer of ecosystems rather than provider of services. Again, in the intersection of research, technology, and private companies. I'm founder and managing director of Kinno. Kinno stands for Knowledge and Innovation. So we have the intersection, the bridging between knowledge and innovation at the core of our company and the DNA of our company. And this is mainly what we are doing, providing services to all these actors from design of innovation projects, which is, let's say, our main focus, to organization of hackathons, of incubator and accelerator schemes, living labs. We are working with both startups and SMEs and industry here in Greece, organizing entrepreneurship and other bootcamps. And we are also very active when it comes to innovation brokerage, bringing together different partners from different countries, soft landing services, and design of methodologies relevant to our work, like methodologies for open innovation, technology transfer, etc. So mostly this is what we are doing: ecosystems, provision of services, bridging of worlds, different worlds when it comes to sectors, technologies, geographies. It is my understanding that innovation is mainly delivered by companies, the private sector. These are the key actors. But it's being multiplied at the intersection, at the interfaces of individual companies to other partners within the ecosystem, university, industries, SMEs, and policy, of course. So mainly this is what we are doing, what I have been doing as consultant, and what we are doing as Kinno.
Thank you. It's a really interesting background. And from your perspective, why should founders consider Greece as a strategic expansion destination?
I would say that there are a couple of reasons for that. The first one is that for founders from Turkey and other Middle East and North Africa countries, MENA countries, I believe that the expansion offers them an opportunity to have a strong base in a European country, which is a neighboring country and close to the culture, mentality, and way of thinking and doing. So I think this is quite a leverage. They should not consider Greece as, let's say, a target market per se, because Greece is not just a domestic market. I would argue that it's a gateway, right? It's a gateway for Mediterranean geography, but a gateway for Europe. And I think that for founders international founders outside of Europe, we combine a positive regulatory framework, funding opportunities, a robust innovation ecosystem, and an opportunity for, let's say, integration of the individual startup and companies to not simply Greek but European ecosystems, association, clusters, and moreover value chains. Apart from that, it's also a very nice, very good opportunity now because there is an opportunity for founders to access capital. So there is, let's say, availability of funds. All these sectors, geography, funding, and people, talented people, make Greece very interesting opportunity and a gateway to European market.
Yes, this totally makes sense. And in terms of industries, which sectors currently show the strongest momentum and opportunities for international founders?
Yes, according to recent data that have been published, there is a strong momentum in specific industries. I would say that, for example, AI, biotech, healthtech are quite strong and have received investment the last years. But it's also my thesis, my strong conviction that when it comes to investment and funding opportunities, one needs to take into account the industry transformation taking place in the country and all over Europe. And I think this gives us a focus to sectors where we anticipate momentum and strong growth, like, for example, maritime and ports, energy utilities, and in principle, energy transition and decarbonization. Other sectors where, because of our geography, we do have, let's say, an advantage, like logistics or supply chain. And in principle, when it comes to digitalization of infrastructures, I think there are plenty of opportunities here for foreign investors to attract funding, form industrial partnerships, and scale up at European level.
You mentioned about funding. How accessible is funding and EU support for global funders in Greece?
As long as you establish a legal base in Greece, you are fully eligible for funding, irrelevant of your origin, country of origin. So all the Greek institutions which facilitate funding from banks and VCs to several other initiatives which I can mention are, let's say, looking forward to foreign investors. And there are plenty of funding opportunities. I'm aware that Turkey is already eligible for funding under specific European programs. Like, for example, Horizon. We have several good partners in
some IPA projects.
Turkey, and other programs like Erasmus, COSME, or EIC, European Innovation Council. Nevertheless, if you establish a legal base in Greece, you are also eligible for funding under regional, national, and some other European projects like European ERDF, the European funds, European Social Fund, the Just Transition Fund. So you have a number of financing tools which are at your disposal. But having said that, it has always been one of our theses that funding per se is not the end goal, right? It should be, we are always repeating that it should always be seen as a leverage, as a multiplier. So you firstly need to have a strong business case, a technology or a service. Then you need to identify and map your market, try to validate your concept and run some pilots. And then as long as the foundations are strong, then you can use EU funding as a leverage and as a multiplier, right? And I would also like to say that Greece and the Greek ecosystem, when it comes to startups and ventures, is quite positive. There has been a lot of progress the last years, and several institutions support investors from all over the world. We do have the National Registry of Startups and several specific measures supporting those startups. The Hellenic Development Bank of Investments with financing tools, the Equifund, which is the national investment platform, the fund of funds, enterprise grids which supports investors from abroad, and other initiatives. So one can find here ecosystem which is, let's say, mature, which is ready to support investors. And I would say it's not emerging anymore. It has been integrated.
Thank you for the suggestions. And to wrap up, Yiannis, what advice would you give to founders who want to expand into Greece and the broader EU market?
I would say that you need first to build your case, read your market, and enter the market, not only, I repeat, the Greek market, but rather the European market with specific solutions and pilots, and not simply pitch decks and presentations. So we firstly need to have a strong basis. Then I would say the next step would be to identify potential partners here, local players, and design and run some pilots, because pilots allow you to customize your product, your service, your technology, and build trust. And it's also very important to design, let's say, your strategy for cross-border escalation from day one. It is my understanding that there are plenty of opportunities, and if we manage somehow to build platforms between our two countries, or more general partners and ecosystems throughout Mediterranean, there are plenty of opportunities for all sides. And it is my strong recommendation that Greece can actually play this role of soft landing and proximity to EU. And if the fundamentals are strong, if you have a product, a service, or technology, then you can enter and take advantage of all the supporting framework. So we'll be happy to see investors and founders and help them in any possible way to enter the market and support their businesses.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights and experience with us today, Yiannis. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Hope to see you again.
Thank you very much.